Good morning, everybody, and this is your S&P 500 day trade setups for today. So a bit of a mixed bag to the start of the week. We did have some strange earning results come out. Specifically, I think it was Goldman Sachs that I saw, which was the one set of results which was what we were expecting. So obviously that created a bit of volatility. So banks, financial banks and the finance houses are first, and once they're out the way, then we start getting into the retailers. And I think that's where the true uh, picture of what's happening in the economy is going to come back. So there's a lot happening. There's a lot of confusion, as you can see within the S&P 500 right now. But ultimately, if we get onto the weekly, we are still stuck between the moving averages, and you can see we just getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. So it's almost getting into a squeeze. So no clear direction for me at this stage, whether it's up or down. Nothing like what we're seeing on the DAX, where the DAX is in a clear uptrend. This to me is still a little bit cautious. So we need to have a close look at what's going on. Now, oscillators are moving to the downside on the 3-hour. We are in a confirmed uptrend on the 3-hour. It is just a messy uptrend. And then we have a bit of a range that has formed this week. So at this stage, this weekly bar is a range. You can see we opened here and price is hovering here. So we've moved up, we've moved down. So if you just have a look at that on the weekly, you'll see really tight weekly range after the strong week that we had last week. So probably to be expected with earnings, but you can see data driving the move prior to that, and now we're waiting for earnings. Anyway, so yesterday was a real chaotic day. I was actually about to place a post for you guys on a trade to the upside, but held myself in check because of this 4,000 level, and we haven't really given a proper break above the 4,000 level. And you can see what happened yesterday. We kind of rejected that 4,000 level. That's 4,003. So anyway, you can see that's the tails to the left here. So we got above it on the public holiday, but that doesn't count. And then during trading days, we haven't really closed above it. So this 4,000 level is my line in the sand right now. And then the other line in the sand is the low of the week, and you can see that on the range here. Let me just fine tune it there. So that's kind of the view that I've got at the moment. We are sideways, so sideways for me is sit on hands. We've grouped to the downside here, so if you look at this, keep swinging low here on the oscillators. A little bit of diversions here to the upside, but this is just indication of a range. And you can see when the sellers do try sell, the buyers come in immediately. And if you look at this on the 15-minute, the buyers aren't even letting it fall to get a decent price. So the longer this continues, the more and more the bears are going to be eliminated from the market. Now, one thing to observe when you start looking at the noise, and the noise in my view is everybody that is screaming that they know exactly where the market is going. You'll notice that that trend is starting to point to the downside. So a lot of the perma bears are now starting to scream really loud. And when they start screaming really loud, it's because they are burning, and they're more than likely trapped with a number of shorts. So obviously they try and manipulate the market by getting the retail traders to drive it in the direction. The reality that we're seeing in a number of data sources, and one of them just being copper, is different. So copper price climbing. Ask yourself how many devices around you, on your desk, in your home, utilize copper. So if copper's climbing, the utilization is there. With the utilization there, it means they're still spending. So there's a lot going on, and we know that food prices have increased. We're all experiencing sometimes 30 to 40% increase in food prices at the moment. But there's something else around. There's something else out there at the moment. So for me, This is sideways. I'm a little bit skeptical of it, similar to the Dow Jones at the moment. So US markets, I'm kind of not too sure what to think. There's mixed bits of real data coming out, which is not giving us a clear indication of what's happening. And when the noisemakers start screaming like they are, I get really concerned, because it basically means that people are just jumping or clutching at straws, trying to either protect their positions that they're in or influence the market one way or another. So for me, we're going to need to get through this 4,000 level, and this is where we are here. I'd want to see a retest of this. It can be it on the 15-minute as well, because if we get a 15-minute retest of this level, that should give us the opportunity for a move to the upside. But right now, any trade that you take is not going to be to the downside just yet. You can see here 4,000. Probably find people here that were short. Stops get taken out, and then the institutions drive it back in here. But the buyers come right back. Gets back into here, they come right back. They don't. They respected the moving averages yesterday, and a lot of this was based on what was going on with the Dow Jones, because the Dow Jones did have a bit of a rough move to the downside yesterday. But anyway, for me, there's no clear picture. There's no clear picture of a short. There's no clear picture of a long. There is just pure confusion and a pretty strong level at 4,000 here, which, if you look at it, is not really the real level. I suppose the real level for a rejection would be at 4,036, but we're not getting that high. Definitely not getting that high at the moment. There's 4,036 there. So 4,000, we spoke about it a lot last year. We had a lot going on at this 4,000 level last year, as you can see. There it is there. For, well, pretty much the whole of November, we had that big round number, and then we had more here in September, and then we had more in July, and I think there was another session here. That's May, and we can keep going through the data. I think there was one last session, if I remember correctly. That goes back. You can see here again, we battled looking at that 4,000, and that's in March of last year. So yeah, for me, pay attention to this. It's an upward trend. We've got diversions both ways at the moment. So we've got diversions indicating a potential top, but then we've also got diversions indicating a continuation. So the longer it goes sideways, the higher the probability that you can toss a coin, and that's kind of what the setup is. So I'd want to see a clear break of 4,000, a clear structure on that as a retest before jumping in long. Alternatively, if we're going to move to the downside, I'd want to see a pullback onto one of these two levels. So it's going to either be the swing high, or it's going to be this support structure here. So that's going to start at 39.53 and 39.28. So that's still in the uptrend. That would give me the opportunity to look for structure to the upside. But right now we're ranging, and I'm not a range trader. Anyway, that's kind of my view today. I hope it helps, and we will catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.